Hey guys, it's your boy, Henry the 8th here, and you're probably all wondering, oi Henry mate, why are you making another one of these AS Media videos for, yeah? Well, you see guys, the AS Media exams are coming up really soon guys, and I need to help all these people with their question 2s, because the last videos I did all focused on question 1. The exam's coming up soon, this is the real deal guys, not a mock like it was last time, this is the real deal guys. Alright guys, so a warning beforehand, this video will only apply to those who have studied the film industry for their media course. If you have done any other sorts of media, like radio, magazines, the games industry, this video will not be much use to you, so I'd go recommend find another video guys. So let's get into the question 2 guys. Alright guys, so unlike in question 1 where you're given a drama clip which you need to analyse, question 2 heavily relies on the knowledge which you have learned. That's why I say it's important that you've already focused on the film industry when you're doing your lessons in class guys, because you need to use your own knowledge that you've learned about the different films that you're going to be researching. So the question you are most likely to be given for question 2 is something along the lines of this. Evaluate the role of digital technologies in the marketing and consumption of products in the media. What? Look guys, I get you, there's a lot of big words you've got to take in there, but the key words in this question are marketing and consumption. Now marketing guys is pretty much how a film is advertised to its audience. There are loads of different ways that a film can be advertised. You can advertise through traditional methods, such as putting up a poster, or you can advertise through a magazine or through a newspaper advertisement. You could also show an advertisement on the side of a bus like the image of this video. TV also allows you to broadcast commercials during advertisement break. And thanks to the internet, we can use stuff like social media to advertise films. This allows for interaction with the fans, and they're also able to share around the trailers and clips with their friends and followers. Now if we go back and have a little look at the question again, yeah? Now the question here states to evaluate the role of digital technologies in the marketing and consumption of products in the media. Now the key word here is digital, because like if we look back like 20 years ago or whatever, the technology would be very limited. We don't have stuff like social media and stuff which made advertising films much more efficient and easy to do. No, we'd have to rely on more traditional methods. So we need to talk about that development and the advantages that we've had over time. Alright guys, now let's have a little look at consumption, yeah? So what is consumption, you may be asking? Consumption is the way we view and access material in the media. Nowadays, there is infinite selection of different ways we can view movies. You can watch a film through the more traditional way, buying a cheeky DVD. Not too expensive nowadays. Quite convenient, you all have a DVD player I suppose. Or you could be a bit more fancy and up to date and buy yourself a little Blu-ray. I mean, not everyone has a Blu-ray player, but they're a bit better than DVD, so they can carry a lot more data and it's got a bit of a higher resolution image, you know. But nowadays, one of the most popular and growing ways of being able to access films and TV series is through streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Instant Video, you name it. And these services access such a wide range of films that you're able to watch through a subscription. I'll be sure to mention this in your exam, because back in the past, stuff like this would have been completely impossible without the advances in the internet. Alright guys, so in this video, we're going to be comparing two vastly different films. One's a major blockbuster Hollywood film, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, made by a big conglomerate. You may not know what that means. That basically means a large company which owns loads of subsidiaries, separate companies. And that's Disney, one of the largest corporations in the world, and we'll be comparing it to a small independent film, I, Daniel Blake, a British film as well. So yeah, we'll be looking at how the two have differentiate from each other and see any similarities between the two. Both I, Daniel Blake and Rogue One take advantage of digital technology to market and distribute their products. However, due to Rogue One's large budget, they were able to experiment with distribution in a much wider variety of ways than I, Daniel Blake did. The Walt Disney Company, who own the rights to the Star Wars franchise, are a large conglomerate who own a large library of multiple companies in all different areas of the media. Back on October the 30th, 2012, Disney bought the rights to the Star Wars franchise and Lucasfilm in general for $4.5 billion. Using their large selection of brands, they're able to cross-promote Rogue One with other products. For example, there are Rogue One themed rides at their Disneyland parks, and there have also been interviews with cast of Rogue One on their TV networks such as ABC and exclusive content on their ESPN website. One of Disney's children's TV networks, Disney XD, also has an exclusive animated series known as Star Wars Rebels. This show both helps to advertise the Star Wars franchise to younger viewers who may not be as familiar with the brand, and also helps to rake in views from pre-existing Star Wars fans. Disney Interactive Studios, the company which publishes Disney's video games, also allows for Star Wars content to be featured in games such as Disney Infinity, a game featuring crossovers between a wide range of Disney franchises which uses interactive figurines, as well as an exclusive Star Wars event for online kids MMO Club Penguin. Rest in peace, never forgotten. This helps to promote the franchise to a much younger audience, and the figurines also appeal to collectors of the Star Wars franchise. Social media also played an important role in the advertisement of Rogue One. The official Star Wars Twitter account posted constant updates, promotional trailers, images and posters to keep the fans anticipated for the new film. This also allowed for people to share, like and interact with the posts to make the experience more interactive than, say, viewing a trailer on TV. As well as this, a promotional Rogue One Snapchat filter was created. This allows any user which uses this filter to promote the film to their audience. Now moving back to the distribution side of things, the Walt Disney Company, as a conglomerate, is able to distribute the films themselves without the need of an external company which many films rely on. Walt Disney Motion Pictures is responsible for both the production and the distribution of Rogue One. The film is available for purchase on pretty much every platform imaginable apart from maybe VHS. You can watch it on Netflix, you can buy it on DVD, you can get it for your toaster. Well, I kind of lied about the last one, but you know. Anyway, that's enough about Rogue One for the time being. Let's talk about our small independent British film, I, Daniel Blake. Now, I, Daniel Blake was produced by a small independent company known as Wild Bunch, which you've probably never heard of. Unlike Rogue One, they didn't have a huge budget and they had to use what they got effectively. You wouldn't have seen stuff like promotional packaging, you wouldn't have seen stuff like any merchandise at all. Nah, they more relied on social media and primarily word of mouth. As well as this, unlike Disney, they were unable to distribute the film themselves, so they had to rely on a third-party company. In the UK, I, Daniel Blake was distributed by E1 Films. However, in other countries such as France, it was distributed by different companies such as Le Pacte. I, Daniel Blake was not released worldwide like Rogue One was. No, it was only released in a select few countries. This is most likely because of the actual story of the film, because it doesn't really apply to certain countries. Like, it mainly focuses on Britain. The film also had a significantly shorter cinema run than Rogue One did. However, this was later extended due to popular demand. I, Daniel Blake is also not available on as many different platforms as Rogue One was. While Rogue One you could pretty much view on anything at all, I, Daniel Blake you could only access through DVD, Blu-ray, and the only streaming service it's available on is Amazon Prime. Hopefully that gives you a bit of contrast between the differences between producing a major blockbuster Hollywood film and a small independent British film like I, Daniel Blake. Remember to use these points to contrast the two films if that's what you've been studying at school in your exam. I can't stress this enough. You've got to do what you've been learning about, because you can't just bring stuff like this out of nowhere. But I wish you all the best of luck, and I may see you in some more future OCR AS Media videos. But for now, I'm signing out. Peace, guys.